Welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel. David White coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Presidential Tribunal adjourns Peter Obi's pre-hearing against Tinubu to May 19th. The details of the stories and more in a moment. Our first report this afternoon is that the presidential and VIP wing of the State House Medical Center, Abuja, according to the statement titled President Buhari to inaugurate, expected to be seated by 9 a.m., reports say the legacy project situated on November 1st, 2021, spanning a total floor area of 2,000 will cater for the president, vice president, their immediate families and VIPs. Federal Polytechnic, Bida. This is contained in a letter signed by the Minister of Education, while Buhari congratulated the new rector and wished him a... In the meantime, President Muhammad later signed by the Solicitor General of the Federation, Jedi Agba, in Abuja. Agba served the appointment for 4 years. In another development, President-elect Bola Tinubu has to ensure continued positive relations with the United States as to build on the gains of the partnership between both nations. The President-elect stated this in a telephone conversation. Priorities as President would be to deliver institutional reforms and development programs to Africa and provide needed assistance in the areas of security and economic investment in order for the nation to lead the way and be a shining example to the rest of the continent. Continuation of pre-hearing in the petition by presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, against Lamidia Papa, as well as the national women's leader of the party that will not be put on record. Recall that the tribunal had last week adjourned the pre-hearing session. Away from that, the federal government has inducted 8 female achievers in Women Affairs Pauline Talent, while inducting the women commended the inductees for and also called on the state commissioners for Women Affairs to replicate the structure of the Nigerian Women's Hall. From the Red Chambers, of 451 million naira was also approved as provisions for aids of 12 NDDC board members. Reports say the approved budget also contains 576 million naira earmarked for running the office, 4.2 billion naira, while overhead expenditure would go up 17 billion naira. The Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Niger Delta Affairs, Bulus Amos, presented the report for consideration and approval of the from further delays. In another development, as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark World Hypertension Day, WHD, today, people have 76.2 million Nigerians are living with hypertension, alongside its complications of stroke, kidney damage, heart attack. Erectile hypertension is about 38.1%. Also, the NMA President Dr. Uche Roland Ojima says young people in smoking, excessive alcohol, high salt diet, reduced physical activity, excessive weight gain, obesity, high saturated fat content in diet, use of illicit drugs like avoid complications that are associated with the disease. Celebrated every May 17th, the theme for WHD pressure and bringing global awareness to the 1 billion people living with high blood pressure worldwide. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Domimano yesterday inaugurated the 16.71 kilometer areas. Speaking during the events, the governor again reiterated that the project was in fulfillment of his promise to ensure that the rural areas are linked up with the urban for the overdevelopment of the state,
especially the youths, to protect government property sited in their areas. Governor Emmanuel, who made the plea while inaugurating the Bakifia Ikpembare Ikorabio Somko Road, linking up both Accra and Ikot local close of thousands of jobs and affected the supply of raw materials to the coconut refinery in the area.
Today, even with all this development we are trying to put on ground, people are trying to destroy what we put on ground. We woke up this morning and the of Eastern Ogolo went destroyed all those coconut plantations. Multi-million-dollar projects, all gone. And we have a refinery. So when I tell people how difficult it is to develop Africa, you now understand what I mean.
Boost the local economy and curb rural urban drift. Governor Emmanuel also used the occasion to thank the people of the area for their support over the years and promised to continue to work for the people of the state till the last day of his administration.
All of you, various sociocultural groups, the men. I think this is one project commissioning that we are attending, and we see youths in this number.
Earlier in their goodwill messages, Senator Emmanuel Bogasian, the paramount role of Obodo Karo Okuku Modiaka, and the State House of Assembly member, Idawasin Tekwere, all thanked the 16.71 Abak Ifiaikpe Mbarayo, Ikorobio Somko Road, with a 2.1 outfall drains, initiated and completed by the Governor Dom Emmanuel-led administration, links several communities in Ikorepene and Obodo Karo local government areas of the state.
In UN humanitarian agencies, Geneva Bureau Ramesh Rajasingham has said that $3.03 billion would be needed to provide urgent aid to people in conflict-ravaged Sudan, and to those who have fled the violence. Dollars would now be needed to provide assistance inside Sudan, up from the $1.75 billion estimated a few months ago, while another $470.4 million would be needed to assist those who have fled the country. According to him, the funds will allow aid agencies to reach 18. Burundi-born former policeman Spiros Hagambimana is seeking to become Greece's first black member of parliament in a country where migrants rarely hold public offices. Reports say he is contesting in the southeastern how a police officer he was jailed in Burundi in 2015 for refusing to open fire on anti-government protesters and was later released from jail with the help of Greek authorities and returned to Athens in 2016. He called on the electorate not to focus on the color of his skin in the upcoming elections, but exercise their franchise without discrimination. Kyiv, who it allegedly disseminated information about the work of air defense forces during Russia's massive attack on Kyiv. The SBU said it had seized mobile phones and computers at the suspect homes and that they will be facing up to 8 years in prison. The SBU also said it had blocked online. Access to the footage was open to a wide range of users who posted videos of the night attack on Kyiv on social media. And still on to extend the pact between Russia and Ukraine have ground to a halt. Russia could quit their deal over obstacles to its grain, under and fertilizer exports. According to reports, Iran and Russia agreed today to collaborate on the construction of the final part of a commercial transport network. Who signed the agreement with the Russian counterpart in Tehran said the 164-kilometer railway in Iran's north would be completed within 3 days. 3 years, rather. And still to come in the news, Arsenal prepare massive offer to sign Declan Rice. Do stay with us. IMF has said that weaker currencies in Nigeria and other sub-Saharan African countries are pushing up public debt. This was disclosed in a post published on the IMF website. The fund noted that with an average depreciation of 9% since January 2022, sub-Saharan African currencies have weakened against the US dollar. The IMF further said that the depreciations were mostly driven by external factors, stressing that lower risk appetite in global markets and interest rate hikes in the United States. The IMF added that the large budget deficit had compounded the effect of the external shocks by increasing the demand for foreign exchange. And still in business, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has said that the recent increase in excise duties, a decline in export among others. MAN President Francis Mashoye stated this during a press conference held in Lagos to raise objections on the recently published 2023 fiscal policy measures. Mashoye said the increase was coming at a time when the manufacturing sector was immersed in unprecedented crisis and an acute recession due to extraordinary challenges, namely sustained scarcity of naira, limited access to foreign exchange, high inflation, and a strong decline of minus 169% in profit before tax in Q1 2023. In health, for federal legal, the Minister of Labor and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, issued the warning shortly after receiving a letter from the NARD executive notifying him of the impending industrial action. Reacting to the letter, Ngige said the Minister of Health has scheduled a meeting with the resident doctors today, May 17th. He therefore advised the doctors to avail themselves of the opportunity. Still in health, a consultant radiologist, Dr. Jane Iguilo, has advised the public to seek urgent medical interventions. Head of Radiology National Orthopedic Hospital, Ibobi, Lagos, gave the warning in an interview with newsmen in Lagos. She noted that cases of limb cancer had increased, with many patients presenting late at the hospital for treatment, and that most of them usually required amputation. Dr. Iguilo of October in Tristan, they converted from the panel to sport. The Colombians, who play in Group C of the tournament against African champions Senegal, Japan, and Israel, increased the tally in the 73rd minute to leave the Flying Eagles trailing with 2 goals. But winger Ibrahim Mohamed pulled one back just 4 minutes later, and Emmanuel Meh, one of the scorers in the 3-2 defeat of Argentine. Tally on Wednesday next week will also take place in Mendoza. And still in sport, Arsenal are putting together an offer worth a club record £92 million for West Ham's keeper, Declan Rice. It is, however, understood that West Ham will want as much as possible of that fee paid up front. According to reports, despite interest from Manchester United, Arsenal remain confident they can and will go all out to bring them the English international to the Emirates. Meanwhile, with the season looming to end trophyless, Arteta already has his eyes fixed on the coming season and bolstering the squad where necessary for a better outing in the next campaign. On our entertainment news, Guinness World Record has released an official statement on Nigerian chef Hilda Bassey, confirming that the chef is hoping to snap up the record title for the longest cooking marathon by an individual, which currently belongs to Lata Tondon of India, with a time of 87 hours 45 minutes. The statement, which was published on the body's official website yesterday, read that Hilda began cooking on. It noted that officials on its records team look forward to reviewing the evidence and hope to be able to verify Hilda's effort as a new record soon. Recall that Hilda Bassey was initially scheduled to stop at 4 p.m. on Monday, culminating in her former 96-hour target, surpassing the current Guinness World Record holder, but eventually surpassed the 96-hour target and achieved a 100-hour record time. Still on entertainment, the Bride Prize is reportedly announced the #1 at the Nigerian box office after spending 2 weeks in cinemas. The indigenous film is already rolling with 13 million naira. Data from the Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria, SEAN, shows that the film recorded a 26% drop over the weekend and a 25% overall decrease in ticket sales. Reportedly, the first Igbo indigenous film to secure the widest theatrical release. The bride prize is set to face stiff competition from upcoming Hollywood titles like Little Mermaid and Fast and Furious. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.